In this otherwise unremarkable area of Austin, Texas, there is a community that very well might be an answer, even the answer, to a problem plaguing cities coast to coast.
And we have a phrase that housing alone will never solve homelessness, but community will.
Community.
It's about community. It's about people being lonely, man.
We're in the middle of the Mobile Loaves and Fishes Community First Village with founder and CEO Alan Graham. What started with a few used trailers has now grown to scores of tiny houses. There will be more than 500 units by the end of the year.
How do I qualify to get in here?
Unaccompanied male or female, no children, with a disability, having lived on the streets of the Travis County for at least a year. You're moving from phase one.
There's a waiting list of 160. As for rules, restrictions for drug or alcohol dependency do not exist. Zero.
We live in a world where we have been experimenting with prohibiting those things for over 100 years here in the United States. And how successful are we?
The village is faith-based. Its ethos found in both the Old and New Testaments. Love your neighbor.
Boiled eggs?
Sprinkled among the formerly homeless are people like Neil and Lynn Nolan, who chose to leave their affluent Austin neighborhood and instead live here, as the Bible says, among the least of these.
You two have been out there almost a year now. What's the most important thing you've learned?
When you muscle that energy to continue to stay in there and walk the journey that they're on with them, by them as their neighbor, it is incredibly fulfilling.
Expectation-wise, has it been as important as you hoped it would be?
More so. More so.
How?
It's easy to say I'm going to meet people on their level, but it's another thing to actually live it and do it on a daily basis.
It's evangelism minus the sermons. It's faith with works.
What we want people to do is preach the gospel often and only when necessary use words.
No proselytizing allowed.
That's why most of our neighbors love Christ but can't stand Christians.
In the village, there's an art studio.
This was Jason did this.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yep.
And work opportunities. A hydroponic garden supplies free fresh produce. But utopia, this is not.
The two essential human needs are the need to be fully and wholly loved and fully and wholly known. When you bring all that to the table, it creates an environment of welcoming. But Harry, it has a side salad of tension. It's life. It's real life. With all the beauty and the marinade of the dysfunction all put into that one little tasty gumbo.
This fearless approach to folks living on the street is working. Travis County has pledged tens of millions of dollars in support, and ground has been broken for construction of 1,400 new units.
Government of the people and for the people is typically risk-averse and lacks innovation. And so we've come in and we've brought a tremendous amount of risk to prove something innovative.
JR figures he may have been on the street for 20 years, but no more.
And you'll never find another place that cares about people like this.
If this place didn't exist, would you still be on the street?
If this place didn't exist, I'd be dead. That's just the truth.
We sat with JR on his porch, listening to him play the blues, mournful notes that belied a hymn of gratitude.
And here's the thing, people come and visit there 3 or 4 times a year from around the country to see how it's done. Yeah. And Alan, by the way, formerly successful commercial real estate guy, he and his wife live there too.
Wow.
Right in the middle of it all.
They should take that to scale here.
Yeah.
Well, it's scalable.
Yeah.
It's scalable.
That's what they call walking the walk. And
it's one thing to talk. This is serious walking.
Wow.
Yeah,
and Harry, of all the stories you've done, you label this one.
It's one of the best ever, right?
Yeah.
One of the other things he says is so amazing to me. He said, you know, the people who come here to live, they love Christ. They just don't like Christians.
Faith and works.
Oh, that was
Faith
really
and
good.
works.
Way to go, way to go.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.